Finally, I got this new book, The Dogman Wuthering Heights, number 10, and I was so excited to get this, and it took so long. I had to wait for many days. So, I'm going to show you the book, and I'm going to draw some of the characters with the Sharpie. So, first, let's see the characters. So, first is Dogman. Dogman is obviously the main character, and if you haven't read the series, it's no problem. And the next character is Petey, who was once known as the world's most evilest cat. Petey is now working to become a better version of himself. So he improved on being himself. And then there's little Petey, who is Petey's son. Next is Molly the tadpole, who is little Petey's friend. And then there's Sarah Hadoff. Sarah Hadoff is the news reporter, and her dog over here is Zuzu. And then there's Chief over here. He's the chief of all the cops. And then there's ADHD. ADHD is basically a robot. And then there's Nurse Lady, who saved Dogman from being killed. And then there's Grandpa, who is Petey's father. And that makes Grandpa little Petey's grandfather. And then there's Big Jim, who is Grandpa's jail mate. And then there's all these pages. And then this is Chief's dream. He had a dream. And basically you can tell because Chief is not usually like this muscular. And then if you skip forward, this is the real Chief. And he's in his pajamas. And he has duck slippers and a wax on his box. And he's going to explain that. And then here's a flip-o-rama. It's going to be hard to do the flip-o-rama with you guys, but here it is. So basically, Chief is very surprised, and the sketch artist over here, when you flip it, Dogman is drinking in the toilet, his tongue out, and then the toilet fell out. The toilet lid fell off, and then it hurt his hands. So that's what happened. And then he got really angry. He was like, you said he was injured in the line of duty. This type of duty. But then the sketch artist says, I said line of duty. The funny one. And then there's this. There's the Commander Cupcake, who's also a Big Jim. And then this is like a robot, basically. This is really funny. So he's like, there's nothing you can do to stop me. Do you hear me? Nothing. I'm the boss of me, and I make my own decision. Now this is going to be really funny. So when he presses this button to take off the cupcake exit, and guess what happens? A boxing hand comes out. It's like, yeah, it's funny. I didn't notice Grandpa gets into the robot. And then this Cone of Destiny. This is Dogman. This cone. So that's what he does. And then this is really funny too. After that. And then these cups are making fun of him. But just remember what this does, as you saw earlier. And then while they're making fun of him, he's thinking, remember, anytime you get in trouble, just press the button at the top, and all of your wildest dreams will come true. So he presses the button, and this happens. So he gets into this robot, and then he turns into this ginormous robot. And what's really funny is they drop, and then they pee on the floor. So there's a lot of stuff that happened after that. And I like the sippy cups. And especially when they stick their butts at each other. there's also how to draw things over here. There's Mecha Molly, and there's Chief Plus, the nurse lady, and then there's the sippy cups, Petey's mom, and there's the drawing characters. So let's draw.